Vian, we have 15 girls in our transport and only 8 of them do sports.
Nee, Marang, toe ek hulle gevra het hulle gesê 9 doen sport en nie 8 nie.
Vian, by 8.
Marang, ons kan nie eldag oor hierdie stry nie.
Guys, I'm doing my homework. Please keep quiet.
Actually, what's going on here? Aren't you all supposed to be doing your homework? I'm asking, can someone answer me? What's going on?
Jammer, Gogo. Marang moet 'n data-hanteringsprojek doen oor hoeveel meisies in ons bus vervoer sport doen.
Yeah, and after gathering the information, I have to put it in a table.
So when you were tasked to do a survey, remember how different people use different ways of collecting and organizing data. They can use tables, diagrams, graphs, and more. So when you just have to stick to the information that you have and find a way of presenting it to your teacher.
Nee, nou maak Gogo my die mekaar. Hoe moet sy haar data-hanteringsprojek doen in grafieke en tabelle en goed soos dit?
Hi, Vian. I'm just suggesting, I'm not saying she must do it that way. Why not just find a way that will suit you and make it simpler for you?
Yeah, okay.
I think we should explore this topic further.
Yes,
so that we can get more information and understand it better.
Yeah.
Okay? Let's go to the wonder room.
If you say so.
Ooh. Mr. Chef.
Door to everything and everywhere. Open up and take us there.
Okay, guys, let's take a look and see what organizing and collecting data is all about.
My name is Rosalind Pinete. I work for CISA as a statistician and a research associate. Today we're going to be talking about collecting data. There are many ways to collect data when it comes to data collection. When you look around you, you see shopping catalogs, you have your school schedule. All those are information that has been provided to you in different ways. We're going to look at tables. We're going to look at 2 different ways of collecting data. We have tables and your schedule. If you look at your schedule, it has been put in an orderly manner. If it were not organized that way, you probably spend the whole day running around trying to find your next class or move from one activity to another. So that way your schedule has been organized in a table format. How do you create your tables? A table has columns and rows, and a schedule has items and events. Today we're going to be focusing on tables. Once you're able to grasp how you can create a table and a schedule, it will be easier for you to master the other ways of collecting and organizing your data. Take, for example, you probably want to create your own table, organize your data at home. Look at your wardrobe. You have a lot of clothes in your wardrobe. Imagine that you want to draw up a list of items that you have in your wardrobe. You have clothes, you have price tags on them, and you want to draw up a list of including where the shops where you could actually buy these items. Now you come to, we have 3, the very first thing you have to know is to know the kind of information that you have. You have price tag, you have item type, and you have the shop. Now these 3 items will form the columns. Those will go in your first row. Those are the columns. Now the next step is to start filling in your rows, the items in the rows. You will start with the first item and then you proceed till you get to the next item. Once you've created this table, you would see that it becomes easier for you to understand your data because it has been presented in an orderly manner. Now you can go home, try creating your own table and see how organized you can put your information together. We collect data to make sense and to make sense of information, to understand information and to make decisions based on the data that has been collected. So once data is collected, it is analyzed, it is interpreted, and decisions are being made based on the data that has been collected. If you want to know the statistics of maybe males in your classroom, how many males do you have in your classroom? We're going to draw up a table. The table Your row heading will probably be gender. Probably you want to find out the age of the boys, the males in your classroom. So you have gender and age as your row. And the columns, you have the names of the classroom, of the people in your classrooms. So when you go to gender, you go, number 1 is Lesego. Lesego is a male. So on that row, under the column heading, you have to, if it's a male, you can tick gender male, you can write male. If how old is Lesego? Lesego is 9, you can write 9. That way, and then you proceed to the other pupils in your classrooms. That way you would be able to understand from a snapshot the demographics of your classroom, who you have in your classroom. So that's visualizing data. So when you are able to visualize data, it kind of narrows down on a whole lot of information. It narrows down, it reduces the information into a way in which you can easily understand at first sight. A child walks into a library, you've been asked by your teacher to pick up a book on geography. When you go into a library, the columns, the books are arranged per subject. The subjects are like your row headings. Per subject, you have geography, you have mathematics, geology, you have life orientation. Then when you narrow down to geography, you're in grade 7, where the books for grade 7 are kept. That is your row. There you'll be able to find a book which you can read and probably prepare for some assignment that your teacher might have asked you to read up on. That's a practical example. So go home and try this. Thank you.
Today we look at data handling. Data is an information that we can collect by writing down the words or the numbers. If you want to collect an information, you can write the names or the numbers. But you can't do it without asking questions. I interviewed 8 learners. So, you see, I just collected information in words. Now I have to interpret into tally tables. Okay, how many learners like soccer? Shabatan. 2. Those who like netball, how many? Netball. Sipo?
2.
How many?
2.
Let us look at basketball. How many are they? Onelia? 1. Volleyball? Kanyel? 1. Tennis? Kagiso? How many? 2. Okay. Now we represent our tally. I want someone who will be very quickly. Wele, write it very quickly. And we have to prove whether our information is correct or not. Okay, how many people do I interviewed? How many? So which means our total must be 8 if my information is correct. 2 plus 2? 4. Plus 1? 5. Plus 1? 6. Plus 1? 8. Oh. Who said 2? 8. Now we can interpret this information in a bar graph. A bar graph must have heading, axis, the vertical one and the horizontal one. You get me, guys? If you don't write a heading, someone will not be able to read your information. First of all, we write the heading. This is a bar graph now. So I'm going to draw my bar graph. This line is vertical. I just draw it with my ruler. And this one is horizontally. Because this one is going to give us the scale or the numbers, they must have same amount of space. You get me, guys? Yes. Here I just write 0. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Because I want to make sure that my intervals are equal. So this is 1, this is 2. Here, I write the number of learners. This line will show types of sports. How many learners like soccer? So, it must end here. Now, I know my bar graph will be accurate. Then you shade to show. My information is exactly as this one in a tally table. If someone just look at it, she will get every information. Learners at home, it is very easy to collect a data by using tally table and bar graph. But first of all, make sure that you interviewed those who want to get an information from. For example, at home, your family likes different fizzy drinks. So you can do by interviewing your brother, your sister. What are their favorite fizzy drink? Then you write down the information. Then you interpret it in the form of a tally table. You also interpret it in the form of a bar graph. I hope you'll enjoy to practice this scenario. Thank you.
How goed thata mos?
Glad nie. Nou dat ek dit beter verstaan, sal ek dit maklik kan doen.
Yeah. Now, I want us to learn how we can resolve conflict. Earlier on, Vian and Marang had a conflict. Instead of resolving it, you were arguing about it. Who can tell me a bit about conflict?
Well, Gogo, in the majority of conflicts, both parties have some degree of responsibility. However, most of us tend to blame each other rather than looking at our own problem. When we take this responsibility, we shift the conflict into another gear, one where the resolution is possible.
And batho ba lona ha ba sa bonane eye to eye.
That is true. So it is important to spot a conflict and try and stop it quickly before it can escalate.
Wanneer ons in 'n konfliksituasie is, moet ons kalmeer, die probleem probeer aanspreek, verantwoordelikheid vat, oplossings kry en die belangrikste, mekaar vergewe.
I'm sorry for arguing with you, Vian. En kilebogile groen tusiseka meroko wa skolo.
Baie dankie. Ek's ook jammer.
Guys, I'm glad that we all now know how to better manage conflict. Now let's go over to the table. There's something I want us to see. Actually, I want to see if we can put whatever we've learned into practice. Let's go.
Okay, go.
Okay, guys, I want us to make our own table. You are going to write down all the stationery you use at school. Then you are going to write down the pricing. You price them in other words. And then you are going to write down the name of the shop where you think you can find them at, just like we saw on the video.
Gogo, I'm not too good with prices.
Sanela agunandaba, just write any price we are in Togo yako. We just want to have our own table.
Okay, Gogo, godlogan na matlek.
Yo, somebody's very confident, eh?
Yes, Gogo.
Hopeloos te selfversekerd.
Oh, okay, guys, let me read the instructions. Sorry, how are we going to do this table, Yaruna? Ne? Okay, draw a table with 3 columns and 10 rows. 3 columns and 10 rows. Draw a table with 3 columns and 10 rows. Ten rows. Three columns. Your rows must be 10. Jan, is jy 'n bietjie stadig?
Gogo, ek werk netjies.
Oh. It's good to be naked, to be neat. Okay, how far is it with the 10 rows? Right at the top, my stationery list. Those who are done, right at the top, write my stationery list. My stationery list. Are we done?
Yes, Gogo.
On the first row, in the same line, write out these words on each column. Item type, and then the next column you'll write item price, next column you write shop. Then under item type, write any type of stationery you can think of that you normally use at school. When you're done, then write down the price under the item price. When you're done with the prices, you're going to write the shop name where you can buy it.
May I also get that? Pink and purple, please.
Nice one.
Thank you.
Sanel, are you done writing the names of the shop? Linda, when?
How?
Yeah, bo.
Excuse.
Coco doesn't have the. I'm still going to cook, ne? Is it clear, Rian?
Yes, Gogo.
Oh, lift it up again. Let me see what you've done. Now lift it up. Let Gogo see. Nice.
Done.
Let me see. Lift it up. Let Gogo see it.
Try.
Okay, guys. Now that you're done, Vian, I would like you to present what you have there to us.
Okay, Gogo.
Assembly.
My stationery list. I got the pencil for 5 Rand at Jan's, the pen for 10 Rand at Jan's, the eraser 13 Rand also at Jan's, then the scissors, the stapler, and the glue I bought at the school. We have a shop. The scissors for 25 Rand, the glue for 40 Rand, and the stapler for 75 Rand. The crayons for 20 Rand also at Jan's, the highlighter, and the marker 7 Rand 50 at one spot.
Ah, Ah, thank you. Nice presentation, Vian. Sanele mfana wam asipheya ki presentation ukokeswe.
Well, Gogo, I have pencils that I need 2 of them, and I bought them for 16 Rand at Mama's school supply. And then with pens, I need 3 of those for 24 Rand, and I bought those at Joe's supply. Well, for scissors, I got them for 10 Rand, but I needed only 1 at NPA. For the sharpener, I bought it for 6 Rand 50 at APPN. The coloring pencils, they were 35 Rand 50 I bought them at the school shop. And then the eraser, I only got it for 5 Rand at Mama's school supply. The permanent marker was 16 Rand at NPA. And the ruler was 5 Rand 50 at Joe's supply. Last but not least was the glue for 6 Rand at APPN.
Wow, thank you very much, Sanele. Nice presentation. Marang arugla wena usi.
Marker, 2 markers for 10 Rand. Cookies, a set of cookies for 20 Rand. A set of pencils for 10 Rand. A set of pens at 8 Rand, for 8 Rand. And I got all of these at Jackie's store.
Okay.
A ruler and an eraser. Ruler 8 Rand, eraser 5 Rand at Auntie's corner. Coloring pencils, set of coloring pencils for 20 Rand. A compass, 1 compass. Got both of them at Mama's place. And a stencil for 15 Rand at Jackie's store. And a tape for 15 Rand at Papa's hut.
Well done, guys. Bagaetso, I hope you enjoy your time with us. Rira the table tsarona with all the stationery we use at school, putting the prices on the side and the shops where we bought them. Remember, you can send yours to us, and keep it at home and frame it. And remember, our email address is epichangout@sabc.co.za. Remember, we love you. Mwah. Goodbye.